Today with this grandmother, you will learn about how to improve communication and understanding in relationships. If you want to discover the best advice a grandmother could give you, stay until the end of the video. If you enjoy this type of video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more videos like this. We will explore important aspects of human psychology, how men can learn to better understand their partner's emotions and needs, and how to build a relationship based on respect and empathy. Relationships are one of the deepest and most complex experiences we can live. Many times, misunderstandings or lack of communication can create invisible barriers between two people who, deep down, only want to be understood and loved. For men, it is essential to learn to perceive and process their partner's emotions more consciously, not only through their words, but also by reading nonverbal cues, those small gestures and attitudes that communicate as much as words. Human psychology shows us that by understanding our partner's emotional context, we can offer much more effective support, which goes beyond what is explicitly said. Men often feel like they need to be strong, that they need to solve problems quickly and efficiently, but true strength lies in the ability to be vulnerable, to listen actively, and to acknowledge each other's emotions. Empathy is the foundation for building a real, lasting bond. When a man takes the time to listen, not just hear, he is creating a safe space where his partner feels valued, understood, and respected. Women, in particular, may feel a need to be heard, not just to find solutions to their problems, but to be validated in their emotional experiences. The key is not to rush to offer solutions, but rather to provide support, showing that we are there to accompany them in their emotional process. Furthermore, it is essential for men to understand that the relationship is not a field of competition, but rather an alliance. In a couple, both must work together, supporting each other in their dreams, frustrations, and desires. Mutual respect is built when both parties have the space to be authentic, and love is strengthened when each is able to support the other in their most vulnerable moments. In this sense, it is crucial for men to learn to recognize that women are not only looking to be heard, but also to feel supported, respected, and treated with consideration. Small actions such as asking how her day was, offering a gesture of affection without expecting anything in return, or simply being there when the situation calls for it, are what demonstrate genuine commitment to the relationship. Furthermore, understanding a partner's emotional needs also implies recognizing that love is a constant process of adaptation and growth. It is not about keeping the relationship in a static state, but about evolving together, facing the challenges that arise and learning from each experience. It is important for men to understand that the relationship is not only about what is given, but how it is given. The quality of the emotional connection depends greatly on the quality of communication, and that includes not only what is said, but also how it is transmitted. Finally, a relationship based on empathy and respect requires a willingness to continually learn and improve. No one is perfect, but the willingness to acknowledge our imperfections and work on them, both personally and in the relationship, is what allows two people to grow together. It's not about always being the best partner, but about being a partner willing to be there, to learn, to adapt, and to build with patience and love, a relationship that is based on a deep understanding of what the other needs and on respect for their emotions. In order to achieve a strong and healthy relationship, it is essential that each partner makes an effort to understand the emotional, psychological, and communication differences that exist between them. Stay until the end and discover the most important lesson only a grandmother can teach you. If you enjoy this type of video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more videos like this. Men in particular may have an additional challenge when trying to understand their partner's emotions, because they have often been raised to focus on the rational, the logical, quick fixes and action. However, relationships require patience and the ability to be emotionally present, which is not always easy, but is essential for the well-being of both. In this process, self-awareness plays an important role. Men must learn to recognize their own feelings, frustrations, and expectations before they can understand those of their partner. This self-understanding will allow them not only to better manage their emotions, but also to more effectively address their partner's emotions, without them becoming a battlefield of misunderstanding. Empathy is not only built through active listening, but also through the willingness to put oneself in the other's shoes, to recognize their pain or joy and validate it without judging or minimizing. This practice of being fully present with the other person is one of the most powerful ways to strengthen any relationship, as it shows that love goes beyond words and is reflected in everyday actions. In this sense, it is also important for men to understand that love does not always mean making grand gestures, but rather being there in the small moments, in the details, in the everyday. Sometimes just sitting together in silence, holding hands, or sharing a moment of vulnerability can be more meaningful than any grand gift or gesture. The importance of nonverbal communication is equally crucial. It is not always necessary to speak, but a gesture, a look, a touch can communicate as much or more than a long conversation. This type of deep, nonverbal communication becomes an invisible but strong bond that unites couples in a unique way. In addition, men must understand that their partner's emotions are not always related to something they have done or failed to do. Women, like any human being, have emotions of their own that can be influenced by factors outside the relationship, such as work stress, family problems, or social pressures. Being able to see this without taking the partner's emotions personally can avoid many unnecessary arguments and allows both partners to find ways to support each other. This deep understanding is also linked to the ability to make room for each partner to have their own moments and needs. Women can often feel overwhelmed by the expectations placed on them, both inside and outside the home, and having the space to be themselves without feeling judged or pressured is essential for the emotional balance of the relationship. In short, improving communication and understanding in a relationship requires constant effort from both partners, but especially from men who can learn to be more in tune with their partner's emotions, to validate their feelings and to offer support without looking for immediate solutions. Empathy, patience, and mutual respect are the pillars of a lasting relationship, and although each couple is unique, these are the universal tools that build a strong and deep connection. When men are able to put these qualities of empathy, patience, and mutual respect into practice, they begin to notice how their relationships improve significantly. Instead of seeing conflicts or intense emotions as threats, they begin to perceive them as opportunities to better understand their partner and strengthen their bond. A couple that communicates openly and honestly without fear of being judged feels safe and supported, which in turn fosters greater emotional openness. Moreover, this process is not limited to big conversations or moments of crisis. On a day-to-day basis, a strong relationship is built on small acts of consideration. If you're interested in learning the wisest advice a grandmother could give, don't miss the end of the video. If you enjoy this type of video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more videos like this, such as asking how the partner's day was, actively listening without interrupting, or simply offering words of encouragement when needed. These gestures, although seemingly simple, are the foundation on which trust and understanding are built. It is also important to recognize that in a healthy relationship, both partners must feel comfortable expressing their needs. Men may have a tendency to assume that their partners should be able to read their thoughts or that emotional needs are obvious, but in reality, clarity and direct communication are key. It's not just about being present for the other, but also being clear about what is needed and being receptive when the partner expresses her own needs. Understanding gender differences and social expectations is also key. Women, because of the way they have been socialized, may express their emotions more verbally and openly, while men have often been taught to be more reserved or to show strength, which can lead to misunderstandings. Recognizing these differences and being flexible in how you interact allows for more fluid communication. A man who knows that he doesn't always have to fix the situation, but simply be there to listen and offer support, can alleviate a lot of tension in the relationship. Finally, while building a relationship based on respect and empathy takes effort, it also takes time and commitment. No relationship is perfect, but problems that arise should be seen as an opportunity to grow together. Couples who learn to resolve conflicts respectfully without falling into destructive criticism or deafening silence are those who develop a deeper, more lasting connection. Men who make the effort to understand and accept their partner's emotions, and who dedicate themselves to nurturing that emotional connection, are investing not only in a successful relationship, but in their own personal growth as well. The key is to remember that a relationship is not about winning or losing, but about growing together, supporting each other, and deeply respecting each other. The true strength of a relationship lies in shared vulnerability, in the ability to be yourself without fear of judgment. Men, by learning to be more emotionally open, not only enrich their relationships, but also experience greater personal well-being. By understanding and accepting their partner's emotions, they are also allowing their own emotions to find a safe space to be expressed. This two-way emotional exchange strengthens the bond and creates an environment where both partners feel valued and heard. Men are often caught up in the idea that they must be the provider or the strong one in the relationship, and that expressing vulnerability can make them seem weak. However, true strength lies in the ability to show yourself as you are, with all the emotions and needs that entails. Being vulnerable does not mean being weak. On the contrary, it is an act of courage that can generate a much deeper emotional connection with your partner. It is also essential to understand that, although empathy and mutual respect are essential, each couple has its own pace and way of interacting. Not every relationship will follow the same mold or have the same needs, and that's okay. The important thing is that both parties are willing to make the effort to adapt and learn together, without impositions or unrealistic expectations. Love, in its purest form, is based on accepting the other as they are, with their strengths and weaknesses, their moments of clarity and confusion, and everything that entails. Men who take the time to reflect on their partner's emotions and needs also learn to be more patient with themselves. Self-understanding and self-acceptance are essential in any relationship. as only when one feels at peace with themselves can they offer true peace to the other. If you want to discover the best advice a grandmother could give you, stay until the end of the video. If you enjoy this type of video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss more videos like this. This doesn't mean being perfect, but recognizing that both men and women have their own internal struggles, which are a natural part of the human experience. As men develop greater emotional awareness, they also learn not to react impulsively to conflict, but to take a step back and reflect on how best to approach situations calmly and empathetically. A relationship based on mutual understanding is also a space for individual growth. Through respect and ongoing support, each partner has the opportunity to develop, both emotionally and personally. Men who feel supported by their partners in their own projects and ambitions feel more fulfilled and motivated, which in turn benefits the relationship. It is a constant dance of giving and receiving, of teaching and learning, of being yourself while building something bigger together. In short, for men, learning to better understand their partner's emotions and needs is not only a step toward a stronger relationship, but also toward a richer and more fulfilling emotional life. This journey of self-discovery and empathy requires patience, openness, and the willingness to listen beyond words. In the end, a successful relationship is not about avoiding disagreements or differences, but about how both partners face those challenges with respect and love, learning from each other, growing together, and building a common future filled with understanding and support. In the end, a healthy relationship is not a fixed destination, but rather a continuous process of growth, learning, and adaptation. Men, like women, must be willing to evolve within the relationship, understanding that love is a daily practice that requires effort, but also the gratification of knowing that the bond they are building is strong, honest, and full of meaning. It is vital that both partners strive to maintain that open communication, that shared vulnerability, because it is what fuels the deepest connection. With each step toward greater understanding, men learn not only to be better partners, but also better versions of themselves. Respect, empathy, and the ability to listen, both to their partner and to their own heart, are the pillars that sustain a relationship filled with love and satisfaction. The key is to be present for each other, supporting each other as they both grow and navigate the ups and downs of life together. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Leave a comment to share your opinion and we'll take it into account for future videos.